Welcome, the guru of Squad Double Zero, the assassin like no other, is here to bring you my first number one. You know that hashtag one Q&A video. Now, I must first apologize because this video was actually supposed to come out Tuesday, but considering the fact that I either reviewed or did a reaction to 5 different chapters this week, it kind of threw me off, and I forgot actually about the video. It wasn't for, if not for Charles's Anime World, because he saw my Q&A video, or at least prelude. He heard about the idea, and he's like, might as well do it myself. And he kept saying he was dropping in his 2 parts, and I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. He said that twice. I'm like, yeah, thanks for reminding me. I need to do that. I thought about it Monday, but then Tuesday was crazy. I mean, it was crazy. But Magi was solid, but especially Game of Thrones. The fact that Game of Thrones wasn't, I know I'm on a tangent, but the fact that Game of Thrones didn't come out last week kind of threw off my whole rotation. And the fact that I also finished the Survivor season 28, yeah, season 28. I finally watched the finale. So, but yo, that Hunter x Hunter episode 131 though. I'm just saying though, everybody get that kind of threw off. And I mean, this chapter was just phenomenal. I mean, this week was phenomenal in chapters. Wow. Anyways, to this video, cause y'all don't care about rambling. Y'all want to hear these answers. Now, when I had posted this video, right, the prelude. First of all, obviously, all the close is done. I don't think any more questions are being asked at this point anyway. And plus, I gave him like a 1 week time frame or that, some or another. I had asked for a lot of questions, because I'm thinking probably a couple people are going to see this. And I told other dudes I'm in the hangouts with, ask me them questions up. It was very well received, more than even I expected. So this video, no less than 30 minutes, most likely. Because I won't just be answering your question, I'll be giving, of course, logic and reason as to why. That's why y'all ask these questions. Y'all just ask me. Y'all know how I am. Y'all don't just ask me questions to the fact that I just, oh, yes, no, this is my favorite, no. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that in my world, anyway. Logic and reason, baby. Logic, reason, facts, and evidence. Anyways. Number 1, we start off with the top comment that I'm reading, or at least the first one I read. Go down the list. Now, some of these may repeat, so if they repeat, I've already dealt with it. First off, why do you actually like anime and manga? Beautiful question. Why I actually like anime and manga? Now, let me start off by saying this, okay? As I've often stated to people over the last about 2.5 to 3 years, I grew up on comic books and comic book superhero, comic books kind of, not really reading them, but definitely comic book superheroes and cartoons, okay? It's a large part of my childhood, like help, I wouldn't say raise me, but reinforce morality, justice, freedom, just friendship, loyalty, a lot of the moral, I mean, not just my parents, but a lot of what my parents were teaching me, but also prepped me for life. I saw a lot of things on the expansion of my mind. And when it comes to anime and manga, okay, of course I got an anime first. I explained to people, One Piece anime actually got me to manga, because I wasn't actually going to read manga, but I was so much of a One Piece addict at the time. That's a whole story. I may end up telling down the line, even in this video, I don't know. Depends on the questions. But I was so much of a One Piece addict that I'm like, I had got to the punk, I had caught up more or less with the Punk Hazard arc. I had only skipped some parts. None of the, for most part, the important parts of One Piece. Anyways, only some filler and some of the Luffy flashback with Sabo and Ace that was irrelevant to the interest. I got the important stuff and I moved on. But I got caught up with Punk Hazard, as it was just, I think they dealt with the dragon or whatever, at the beginning of the arc. And I'm like, yo, I gotta read this. So I got into it, and it's like, whoa. And so I was like, wait a second, I gotta start investigating more. So now I do prefer manga over anime. But as to why I like anime and manga, first of all, it's different. It's different from a lot of, especially in this day and age. Like, yo, cartoons are not on the level where they should be. I grew up watching cartoons from pretty much the 60s via Boomerang, but not just that. You know, Johnny Quest, for example, just one older one. Scooby-Doo. Shoot, if I started naming all this video would be too long. But anyways, I started watching. I grew up watching cartoons all the way from the 60s all the way to the early to mid 2000s. And that's also, when people talk about animation, they haven't seen that animation. You have not seen that animation. And if you talk about animation, go back to Gargoyles. Phenomenal dynamic animation. Spider-Man, the animated series. Batman, the animated series. Phenomenal animation. SWAT Cats, Radical Squadron. Okay. So I've seen such a wide range. And I can say anime, you know, it gives me that old school, like what the stuff I grew up on. And I did grow up on, you know, I'll probably deal with which animes I actually watched first. But I did grow up on those, and those were like, you could tell they were different. They were different. The quality's high. And the ones that I watch anyway, I only watch them really high quality. And manga the same way. I've come across a lot of literature. I'm into mystery, sci-fi. Sci-fi is probably my favorite genre at this point. High fantasy, you know, non-fiction. Philosophical works, you know, just a whole. I prefer fiction, but you know, a whole lot of things. And manga is up there with some of the greatest things I've ever read, and some of the greatest things that I've ever written, because it deals with a lot of things psychologically, philosophically, a lot of political issues, a lot of real life issues. You know, goes into fantasy and the supernatural, ties in mythology with the way it is, and it doesn't retcon as badly as. Don't even get me started on DC. Marvel does to some degree, but it doesn't. So overall, the high quality really is why I watch anime and read manga. Not all of them are high quality, but the ones that I watch are high quality. Now to the next question. What is the most important thing to you, to me, in determining if a series is good or not? Okay. The most important thing. It's not plot, it's not characters. Execution. Pure and simple. Execution. People have stated in different videos that pretty much every sort of narrative has been done. I don't know what it is, but pretty much everyone. There may be some to come. Hey, hell, maybe I create one. But pretty much every sort of narrative has been done. It doesn't matter how good a concept is. Why am I so critical of Naruto, and why do I praise One Piece journey so much? Execution, pure and simple. If you can't execute properly, then you're gonna have a major problem. A coach could drop the greatest play, but if his team is not skilled enough, if they're not focused enough, if they can't execute, you're not gonna gain victory, not gonna gain success. That's anything in life. It's all about the execution, baby. It's pure and simple. Execution. You could drop a very simple plot, but if you execute properly with the characters, character development, even the plot itself, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Toriko, well, Toriko's getting more complex, but it started off simply, right? Magi's more middle level, but dude, you know, once again, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Toriko, all simple plots, but the execution of the story is phenomenal. Now, next question. Your 3 favorite anime. Currently all time, my 3 favorite anime. And it's amazing One Piece actually isn't up there. Is One Piece is either 4th. I think One Piece is 4th at this point. Okay, for various reasons. My 3rd favorite anime of all time currently is Hunter x Hunter 2011, specifically 2011. Hunter x Hunter 2011, yo. Gosh, man. Now, I do, once again, prefer One Piece over Hunter x Hunter. Oh, absolutely. It's actually a better story. One Piece is a better story than Hunter x Hunter. I believe I would actually do more or less a video talking about that. I'll do that one. Anyways. But the thing about the Hunter x Hunter anime, oh my goodness. First of all, the animation is almost right up there with Shingeki no Kyojin, aka / Attack on Titan. Not only just animation, the dynamic, the way in which they craft. Togashi's made a phenomenal story, don't get me wrong. Love me some Hunter x Hunter. But every week, I'm addicted to it. Like, every single week, I gotta tune in for that Hunter x Hunter greatness. Like, yo, The way they do it, man. Not just the animation, with once again, the execution. Just the execution of the story, of the plot. It's phenomenal. It's epic. It's just beastly. The sequences of events, even the training sequences. It's like, what? What is this? The hype is real. It barely ever drags, and it doesn't mean it's always fast paced. It's not like some Kill la Kill pacing, but it's just like, boom, hit you again and again, be hitting with the emotions, with the psychological complexity, with sometimes the philosophical complexity. With one episode, for example, 130, I wasn't vibing with Gon. 131, I'm like, okay, Gon, alright. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it takes you on this beautiful ride, this beautiful journey. Now, my second favorite anime, Kill la Kill. The hype was real, but people, they hyped it up somewhat for the wrong reasons. Yeah, the action the action phenomenal. But people miss on the story. People just, once again, like my first favorite one, which I'll get to in a second, or momentarily. But Kill la Kill, me explaining Kill la Kill is too long. Kill la Kill of greatness, man. Yo, the story, the plot twist, the freaking characters. Yo, Kirin Ragyo, my current favorite villain. Amongst all time, she's definitely top 10, without a doubt. Top 5, possibly. Kirin Satsuki, oh goodness, Kirin's like Matoi Ryuko, the neurotic Matoi, the neurotic Ryuko that she is. Satsuki for much of the series is stoic in her character development and characterization. Oh, Makan Shoko Mako, my favorite. A side character is my favorite character. Why they do that at? Where do they do that at? Then you have Nui Harime. Nui fucking Harime, man. Yo, this character, so twisted, but it's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so out. No. Ray Hormone, which should get more shine. Hopefully they bring, whether it be an OVA or season 2, they need to do that because of Ray Hormone. Man. Then there's the Elite Four. There's so much. I tour. I mean, the things about war, the beauty, like the art of war, the blood, like no censorship. It was in the real, and the concept about clothing, the philosophy that it goes into is deep, man. It's really deep. You can miss it if you just watch the superficial. Oh, why they nude? Oh, they just sexy. It's beyond that, man. You have to have a mature mind. If you go with the maturity, and you also understand it's a Bildungsroman at the same time, underlying tone. It's not really a Bildungsroman story, but it is Bildungsroman, coming of age in a feminine way. And others have done videos and talking about that. I know King of Lightning did a video about the whole clothing aspect of it. And once again, just like I stated in my Sakura as a character video, and I've stated before, I love badass, beastly female characters. Like, y'all don't even know. I'm nowhere near sexist. Like, yo, that's part of the reason I love Kill la Kill, because I've never seen so many badass female characters. So beastly, like, that mainly centered around it. And it was logical, it made sense according to the power scale of it. I mean, yo, the pacing. I've never seen pacing like this. It was revolutionary. First of all, the animation, oh my goodness, so many times on point. So, let me not even go on the animation. But, there's so many styles that they use. Oh, with all the characterization and character development they had, and even minor characters, like it was on some of that One Piece greatness stuff, and also Magi greatness, Toriko greatness kind of stuff, Holy Land greatness, Berserk great. Like that was the level of this characterization and character development, and the fact that it was 25 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I believe 25 episodes. It had 3 to 4 times the amount of content. It put One Piece pacing, Naruto pacing, Bleach pacing, all to shame. I know they were going for longer, but like, yo, the pacing was, like, I kept having to rewind it. I kept having to rewind to catch the details in this, the detailed artwork. Like, there's so much I could say about Kill la Kill. But my favorite anime of all time, Dragon Ball / Dragon Ball Z / GT, if you want to throw in that too, DBGT. The anime that got me into anime. This, when I watched this, I knew it was different. I didn't even really know what anime was at the time. And when I thought of anime, I thought of Dragon Ball. Now there was other ones I watched that like Sailor Moon and whatnot, but a little bit, not much Sailor Moon, but different ones. And I may get into other ones, right? But the fact of Dragon Ball, man, like this story, Goku, my second favorite character of all time, my favorite character in anime and manga, like the character of Goku. Once again, I don't want to make this video too long, but the character of Goku alone, not just, I mean, the world building, the different characters, like this was, to describe Dragon Ball, this entire series, you know, Dragon Ball DBZ, the fight with Frieza, see that to me, it changed the game. When Goku came in Super Saiyan, one of the most iconic moments ever, the storytelling in this, the plot's so underrated. The storytelling that Akira Toriyama did in the story, even when he didn't even like the story. For example, the Buu Saga. Like, oh my gosh, Dragon Ball. Enough said. We continue. Let's see. Next up, different person asked me a couple questions about, what is this? 3 to 4 questions. Okay. These shouldn't take me as long. Game of Thrones. That Game of Thrones greatness. What is your favorite Game of Thrones moment so far? Ooh, now I have not watched the most recent episode. Oh man. Shoot. It's between the moments of Tyrion Lannister and Daenerys Stormborn, my 2 favorite characters. Daenerys Stormborn, she's my second one and my first. And if you ever watch my Game of Thrones videos, oh my goodness, you already know. Shoot, man, there's so many moments, bro. But I gotta say, I love so many moments, but it has to be the symbol, because of the symbolism and because of the build-up to this moment and what it represented. It has to be the speech that Tyrion Lannister gave during the trial. Like I said, the monument, like the significance of that speech and the truth that was stated in that speech, he's been my favorite character, you know, his mentor. But the way Tyrion went in on that one, that was so manly. Like, you know, we say manly, no. That was literally a man with his life on the line. He didn't care. And then he just throws in that curveball. Once again, I'm going to roll the dice. Going against all odds, trial by combat. With the fact he almost had to even put his life on the line until a saving grace. Like that was, I know we didn't know that before, but you know, I didn't want to spoil for those who are in Game of Thrones. But that speech though, man, it don't get much better. It doesn't get much better than that. Next up, we have, in your opinion. Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I do not like opinions. I have very few opinions, which people get twisted. They believe I'm very opinionated, which I'm not. Holding a lot of views and viewpoints. Okay, and I did a whole video on opinions versus views. But anyways, the question goes: in your opinion, what is your take on African Americans in anime? Blacks in anime. First and foremost, how many blacks are in Japan? I'll be dead serious. How many blacks are in Japan? What are their thoughts on the Japanese? First, my thoughts. You don't really see them. They're not treated much differently than the way I see most fiction, modern fiction. Actually, the way that this whole black movement. Now, I love to see some black music. I'm black, pro-black, black pride, straight up. But I like to keep it authentic. And if you're going to represent somebody, truly represent somebody's mindset, which is another reason why I love Shinobu Otaka. It's a woman. Now, when I found out she's a woman, it even made me more impressive because she understood the male mind. Okay, I've not seen blacks in anime too much, so my thoughts on them is, if they're a beastly character, they're a beastly character. If they suck, they suck. If they're, you know, a villain and I happen to hate them, then they're probably done their job, depending on the way they are. But I don't have any particular notion as to the way blacks are treated in anime. I haven't seen many blacks in anime, so it's like, okay. Hope that answers the question. Favorite old school cartoon, not anime. Good, yeah, you said this because I don't know that many old school anime anyway. Old school cartoon. I'll tell you my favorite cartoon, my favorite show of all time is Squad Cats Radical Squadron. there's so many reasons as to why it is. My favorite old school though, because it's, I mean, SWAT Kats is only like 20 some years old. I think SWAT Kats 21. I'm thinking legit. I don't know. There's a lot of phenomenal ones. Not Johnny Quest, even though that's one of my favorite ones. Birdman was pretty beastful. Popeye. You got the original Superman. I'm talking about Golden Age Superman. Damn, there's so many I watched. Dundar. I watched these different ones. But if I really had to go, because there was so many great ones that I watched. But if I really had to go, yeah, I'd probably say, like 1940 Superman. I love me some Popeye. I love me these, like y'all don't even know. I'm probably not even thinking about all the ones that I've watched straight up. Watched and read so much. But yeah, Golden Age Superman. First of all, my favorite version of Superman. Yo, this Superman, like, it embodied a hero. He embodied a hero. Like, the theme music, oh my god, dang. And then faster than the speeding bullet, more powerful than the locomotive, able to leap tall buildings to sing about, or to deal with, and then there was an alternative intro. You know, it was before all this censorship, before all this crap, people call the Boy Scout Superman. You ain't no Boy Scout. But the struggle that Superman faced, I mean, it was inventive. The animation was on point. I mean, this was the 40s, and the animation was on point. The way they did it, the storytelling, like, it was short, but it was sweet, it was beautiful. It felt so much longer. I could watch Superman episodes all day. Like, he represented so much. This Albert, it's someone from another planet. He's not even human. And he's coming in here and the world's greatest hero. Like, the symbolism behind that, man. The symbolism do you understand this? The symbolism behind that. An alien saving. Now, it's been done. You can say, well, there's other aliens. No. The last son of Krypton. He knows of nobody else but himself. And it kind of goes, if you know the song by, I believe, Five for Fighting, Superman, it's not easy, it's not easy being me. He's just different. And he goes day by day, and he holds the weight of knowing he has to hold his secret identity, and just, him acting, him not even being able to be real, be himself. That definitely relates to my teen years, and being someone you can respect. And people always trying to find out, people putting the people he loves in danger constantly. Oh, I can go for more and more. Then you have this reckless female character in Lois Lane. Oh yeah, gotta love that feminine. Let me not go now. But yeah, old school Superman. Let's see. And of course, you can recognize that this person who asked this question is a bit older. He knows who he is. Now, if he watches this video, if and when, what is your opinion on the anime community as of right now? Now, what do you mean by the anime community? Because there's still AMV dudes, but they're not really prominent. Those were the first, actually, anime community, not manga community at the point, but anime community. Let's say my thoughts on it as of now. At a turning point, at an important climax. I mean, we're currently, the anime and manga community war on YouTube is at war. Anime and manga community is at war currently. And overall, there's been debates. I mean, they've turned ugly over the years. It's been more or less in a cold war over online. It's a lot of people meeting and getting together, which is good. A lot of discussions, but it's real life now. It's real out here. That's if you really want my honest thoughts on it. It's real. Like, reality has transferred over, which is I'm okay with, because people wanted to try to act like things weren't going on when that's not factual. Now we move on. Yeah, it's gonna be a long video. First of all, nice idea, Wonder. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Much respected. The last guy in this one is in Squad Double Zero, by the way. Number one. Let's see what we got. What was your first manga that you ever read? One Piece. Already answered that. And what was it that caught your interest? I mean, I had already been into One Piece. It's my all-time favorite anime. I mean, all-time favorite manga. You say, well, you ain't read. Yeah, actually, I've read quite a few at this point, or at least I've gotten into quite a few. I have 30 plus must-read manga, many of which are, or at least several of which are actually ongoing. So it's crazy. And I'm constantly hearing and getting suggestions. There's old ones that I want to check out. So yeah, I mean, One Piece. I've constantly said it. It's a masterpiece. It's as far as it's in the adventure story genre. It goes beyond just shonen, in manga. The adventure story. It's right up there with classics of Robinson Crusoe, Gulliver's Travels, Count of Monte Cristo, and as well as Treasure Island. It's up there with all of them. Number two, what anime character would you say you relate to the most? Why? I thought about this. Like in the Squad Double Zero hangout, the captain, he wanted a picture. I don't know. Oh, did they say anime character? I don't know, because I'm very complex. Like, I like characters for a lot of reasons. Although Luffy's one of my favorite, I differ from him a lot, but relate to. And there's still more anime that I need to watch, but who do I relate to the most? That's the kind of questions I wanted. Oh man. Next one, get your questions in. But let me think about this. There is Kai is possible. From Beyblade, but I don't think it's Kai. Let's see. It's either, let's see. Actually, to be honest with you, two characters. I don't know if you I do actually relate a lot to Luffy. So it's between four characters that you can say I relate to the most. At this point that I can think of. They came to my top of my head, so there's reasons as to why. First of all, well, see, even though I love Goku so much, I don't, as far as me personally, my life, who I am as a character, I can't say Goku, Son Goku, but I can say Monkey D. Luffy, Straw Hat Monkey D. Luffy. But because of a lot of reasons in the way we think, I have respect for the character more so than relation. Okay. Now Kai from I forget his last name, but Kai from Beyblade, the original trilogy, I massively relate to. He was a bit arrogant, so I'm not an arrogant cat, okay? But he's very much a thinker. He's very skilled at what he does. Hard work. Oh my gosh, he's willing to put his life on the line. Like, yo, Kai, if you don't know Kai, watch the Especially G Revolution. I mean, his loyalty. But he's very conflicted. Like the journey with him and Tyson, especially those two. But I can't say Kai the most. I relate more to. Then there's two characters. I don't know if you technically consider these anime, but it's between, Samurai Jack is probably number two. Samurai Jack, yo, this dude Jack, the training that he's, like the things he's went through, the disappointments that he's faced, he's reached victory, but he couldn't achieve. He's highly skilled, and the battles, the fights he's taking, just this whole thing with Jack, he struggles. His life is a struggle, okay? I mean, he was ripped out from. Now, I didn't experience exactly what Jack experienced, but I've been thrown into the fire more than on a few occasions. I've had to go pretty much me against the world on this thing. I've had people back me up. I've gotten respect. But yeah, I can relate to him. But overall, like again, I don't know if you consider it an anime. Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, if let me not cry, but it's like, yo, I'm not blind, okay? We know this. But Toph, man, like let me start at the end. The fact that she didn't get with anybody, like, yo, come on, she got friends on. Like, I don't know if she even told, that she liked anybody, which is cool. She was young, but let's see, Aang got with Katara, was that her name? From the ice. I mean, Zuko had Mai, and I forget homeboy's name. Homie from Katara's sister, brother, Katara's brother guy with a female, the one in the mask. Toph ended up with nobody, man. Come on, the beastly, like arguably the most beastly character right up there with Aang. Like, this, her skill, yo, like you don't get it. She was a master. She was an earthbending master. Earthbending, she quickly learned sandbending, and on the spot, because of necessity, she learned metal bending. Like, yo, so beastly. She taught, I mean, the way that she came across, just her attitude, often misinterpreted, but very loyal, very there, her friendship level, and, like, her, even though I'm not blind, I mean, glasses, but, these are with glasses, even though I'm not blind, I do see the world in a different way. And the way she could sense and perceive things, and the way just her, she needed people at times, but they needed, she was an integral part. Gosh, the character. And it's been a while since I've watched it, a marathon through, but Toph, man, I just absolutely love Toph. And I can relate to her. Her tough, her tough exterior, she gotta be tough at times, to the point where she's misunderstood. But the fact that she got left and with nobody, y'all don't even know. That's more of a personal discussion that I would like to get into at this time. But anyways, like I said, we continue. Get your questions. Now here's one of the dudes that got into a whole bunch of things. Let's see, how many questions I got a bunch of them. Dang, son, I got a lot. I know it's been 30 minutes. But it is what it is. Like I said, I had to go in there. Alright. What other genre do you read other than battle? Fred, really, bro? You should be ask. Are you really gonna ask me this? I read seinen manga. I read some shoujo. I haven't gotten much, but I read some. Oh, Seven Seeds, phenomenal shoujo. I'll read some psychological thrillers. Like, there's one I just checked out. I need to get more to the Hive. I read Dark Shonen with Hunter x Hunter and Attack on Titan. A lot of crap. Some stuff I wouldn't even recommend you read. But yeah, a whole wide range. I can't, just Josei. I would read that as well. If you don't know, shoujo is more or less the female shonen, and Josei is more or less the female seinen. Okay, some grown stuff, grown manly stuff. It's just about, once again, if the story is legit. Do you play any sport? Yes. Shoot. I grew up with basketball. Half played baseball, was decent. Football. That's a whole sort of was. My last 2 years of high school was legit, more or less. What else? Volleyball. Often playing that these days. Football, soccer. I grew up playing that from middle school to my high school years. Yeah. What else? Ultimate frisbee. Love some of that. Too many sports. Put it that way. Too many sports. Top 5 anime fight. Oh, gosh, these questions, yo. I talked about this one time. Top 5 fight. I'll just say the best fight because I don't want to have to go through this whole, there's too many of them. But my favorite actual fight of all time, actually, it comes from Bakugan. Well, it actually had 2 beastly fights. The one with Masquerade, but my actual favorite fight of all time is Dan Kuso versus Keith/Spectre. Like, that fight, the meaning behind that fight, these dudes were ready to go straight deathmatch. Then you had Drago versus Helios. I mean, that, oh my gosh, with the whole scenery crumbled, like, that was arguably the climax. Like, it felt like the climax. of the season, of all of this series. Like, there was so much build up. The two best going at it. I mean, really, the two best going at it. It didn't get much better than that. What do you consider the best shonen and seinen manga? Shonen, One Piece, for many reasons. Seinen, from what I've read, I read others, Toriko, Magi Labyrinth, talking about shonen. I've read the Grapple Baki, which is low. But my favorite seinen that I've come across is actually Holy Land. And for those who don't know about Holy Land, oh my lord. Yo, you need to read Holy Land, no space. Holy Land, Komishiro Yu. Yo, it's street fighting, but not normally how we think, y'all. Holy Land, just check it out, man. Who is the best overall written character? Is that mean fiction? Are we talking about anime and manga? That's a question. The best overall written character? If we're talking about anime and manga that I've come across, let me take a break, because a lot of these questions I may have skimmed through, but I haven't actually read. You know what though? I'll make an argument for Kai from Beyblade as an overall written character. I'll make an argument for Kai from Beyblade. Yeah, I'll from my view, Kai from Beyblade. Some may disagree with me like that, but and number 2, Killua Zoldyck from Hunter x Hunter. Those would be the two top that come to my mind at this point. There's a lot of, you saying overall written character. I mean, Killua Zoldyck, my goodness, the characterization, the character development. Same thing with Kai. Pick your poison. You know. Your favorite NBA team, NBA player? Miami Heat's my favorite NBA team. 305 till I die. Okay, 305 till I die. If y'all don't know. Born and raised. But favorite player of all time is Allen Iverson. For a lot of reasons. I even made a video, and I've loved a lot of dudes, J-Kid, a lot of dudes over the years, and I respect all great players, so I do like pretty much all great players. But currently, I mean, even LeBron James is my favorite. The best player. Is he my favorite? I don't know if he's, he's one of my favorites. My favorite NBA player currently wouldn't be D-Wade anymore, right there. Currently, I'm not sure. I don't know. That's my answer. What series are you reading at this moment? Too many. Answer your question. Too many. I've named off many of them. Just too many. What do you consider most underrated series? Toriko. Easily stated. Toriko. Underrated as hell. Phenomenal manga. One of the most unique series you'll ever come across. The world building is on the level of Ichiro Oda and Shinobu Utaka. Okay, the concept, it's so unique. People say food, I can, debunk all these things. I mean, every relevant character has a unique individual fighting style. The way you see, these characters, man, they're so individualistic, but at the same time, it's just like, and the comedy, oh my gosh, the comedy's hilarious. The battles, everything about this, like, it transitions between shonen battle manga, like, you can't even call it a shonen battle manga, you can't call it a dark shonen. It's almost it's seinen-esque at times. Like, it's like, where this place? So it just completely breaks the mold of anything. Let's see. Best American comic. Spider-Man is definitely up there. Damn. I don't know, man. There's a lot of great comics out there. The best overall. There's different. Overall, he's one of my favorite characters, not my favorite character. As comics, I'd have to argue Spider-Man, because of, I'm saying from an overall perspective, not many retcon, and just a lot of reasons that's why Spider-Man is. What's your favorite anime manga? Favorite anime, once again, is Dragon Ball. Favorite manga, once again, is One Piece. Which manga did you read first? I already answered that. One Piece. What's your favorite character all the time? Well, fiction-wise, I'm not sure. My favorite anime manga character is Son Goku. favorite non-anime or cartoon series? I already answered that. SWAT Cat Radical Squadron. Yeah, I think I answered that question probably. How many siblings do you have? 3. 2 older brothers and a younger sister. Favorite fodder characters? I don't even know what that even means, but if you're talking about weak characters, actually, who's my favorite? Let's see, my favorite weak characters. If I gotta go right now, actually, because there's a lot. I don't know if this is just anime manga. I would have to go with Aizawa Mai from Holy Land. Right now, that I can think of. Also, Understanding Potential, but yeah, that would be my favorite weak anime manga character currently. My favorite other weak ones. There's too many characters to even consider. Where do you do your reviews, if you don't mind me asking? Normally in my room. Yeah, normally in my room. If you live in the world of One Piece, what would you be, Marine or Pirate or Marine? I've already done how I would be in One Piece world, but definitely Pirate. Marine, please get the hell out of here. I'd be more of a revolutionary, but yeah, I got a video about Pirate Crew, about my Pirate Crew, coming up anyways. Who do you like more, Zoro or Sanji? Clearly Zoro is my second. Luffy's my favorite character, Zoro is my second favorite character in One Piece. Sanji, he's building up, but I don't even know if he might be top 15. Nah, I don't even think he's top 15. I don't know where he ranks. But yeah, Zoro, like, his loyalty, oh my goodness. Like, this dude's loyalty, you can say he's badass, we know this, but his loyalty, his bond with Luffy, the responsibility in which he takes, just his overall demeanor, he's more or less stoic. Like, just Zoro as a character he's a phenomenally made character. After reading the latest chapter of One Piece, do you still think it will end in 9 to 12 chapters? This was a week ago. Depends on how Oda wants to take it. Is there any genre in particular that you dislike? Not in particular, but I stay away from more kiddish stuff. I guess you could say I'm not too much of a comedy guy. I may read a comedy one from time to time, but it better bring some other elements to it. Better bring a unique story, because pretty much a comedy. I ain't too much into that. Like it's forced. Like One Piece in different series does comedy. Toriko does comedy, but it's not forced. It's just an add-on. It's an addition to the story. Next question, where do I live? I'll just say simply in the 305. I'm not giving out my address. Nothing personal. Favorite sport? Basketball actually edges out a lot of sports. Basketball I've been playing more or less since I was 7 years old. It's played a major impact in my life. Now, a lot of sports I've learned from, but basketball, like, y'all don't even know, man. The bond I have with basketball is massive. In how many ways do you think One Piece has surpassed DBZ? For the DBZ fan-tards who think DBZ is the holy grail, I was a fan. Now I'm just a fan, but then there's DBZ still better. Not really. The action, the plots, response. Okay, first of all, many people have misconceptions about DBZ and Dragon Ball overall, so I'm not even gonna get into that nonsense that y'all was talking about. But in how many ways? I can't say how many ways, but as an overall story, from how many characters that were developed to, even minor characters get character development. Characters get brought back and get character development. To the fact of the world building at this point has surpassed Dragon Ball universe, to Dragon Ball's universe. Just the overall writing skills. It's a better story. I ain't going to go point by point, because it's not leagues better, but overall it's just simply a better story. mainly for the points in which I mentioned. First anime and manga. I can't say exactly what my first anime was, but the first one that was impactful was DBZ, then Dragon Ball. Manga, once again, One Piece. Marvel, DC. Marvel, and for me, Marvel is for 3 reasons. Because I love me some DC too. I grew up on DC first, then Marvel, and then went to anime and manga. Okay. With Marvel, first of all, it's more realistic in its conceptions, more scientific you can go with. And even though I'm not huge into the whole science, but it is more, the logic behind it makes more sense. Oh, don't even get me started on number 2, the retcons. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on the DC retcons, man. God. This new 52, for example, absolutely terrible. One of the worst ideas I've ever heard of. No. Number 3, more characters. I love more characters in Marvel than I do in the Marvel universe than I do in the DC universe. It's that simple. Role model, have a lot. I had a lot growing up, both my folks, both my older brothers, a lot of, I call second dads and moms. If we want to go for music, that's a completely different topic that I can get into. But I don't really, Christ, obviously my first number 1 role model. But music, yeah, I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole different discussion. Let's see. What was your first anime show? Manga, and I answered that about 3 times. What was your first fire use? What is your first favorite fire use in anime? I have no idea. I don't really care so much. My favorite fire use of all time is probably Human Torch, if that suffices. Because him and Human Torch is just this guy. Wow. What made you want to be part of the anime community? Okay, so One Piece, once again, a lot of linking to One Piece because I remembered it. Like people talk about the 4 kids. Now I didn't really pick up on it and didn't care about it. I just knew it was this greatness that was One Piece even as a kid, and I didn't get to see it. And I remembered it, and by a lot of ways, first of all, I've been on YouTube since like 06. Apparently, I've had an account since 08, but been on YouTube since like 06, right? Since some of the beginning. And I've seen a lot, been around a lot, I've seen a lot of videos, and I was watching it. And a lot of reasons, I kind of more or less slipped into it, for Never and a few other ones, Manga Me, some of these other ones, KOL, Code Provider, different ones, Sawyer, some of the earliest ones I saw. And it just was talking about, something that I was passionate about, something that, I needed to voice out, get others' views on it. And I just, just became a major, I became a player in the game. And it was a natural extension of my life, especially if you knew me of who I am as a person. So yeah, that kind of deals with that. Anything else? I know there's some else. Hopefully I answered your question. A few questions, okay? This video is getting on near an hour. Not surprised, because there's at least 30 questions, something like that. Let's see. A few questions. Please answer at least one. Of course I'll answer at least one. Duh, you don't know who I am. You're probably subscribing that doesn't really know me like that. It's all good, but it's all good. Goku, who will win between Goku and Superman? Deathmatch coming up, Goku. Vegeta and Wonder Woman, Vegeta. Yes, Vegeta. Future Trunks and Hawkman. Ooh, damn. Are you talking about Future Trunks after he got the training? I know Hawkman, but I don't know enough about Hawkman's abilities, so I cannot say that one. Question mark. I don't know. I have to do the research on that one. Gotenks or Green Lantern? Green Lantern. You don't know how hacks and OP this cat is. Piccolo and Martian Manhunter. Tough question. I have to get back to you. I have another question mark because I have to do research and comparative analysis. Paul Phoenix Tekken versus King. Paul. The Street Fighter characters are so overrated for the most part. I'm just going Paul, dog, because I know this cat's skill set, man. This cat's skill set was bad. It's beastly. Like, he's not even one of the most powerful. He was still wrecking shop. Yeah, Paul. And I've played with both, and Paul I can definitely use way easier than I can with Ken. Will you make that fighter Mr. Gohan? Yeah, I have actually added that. I said I don't know. I have actually added that to the list. Mishima, Ryu. I think I have Ryu in a different death match. I think from Street Fighter, but I don't know this other cat. Bruce Lee versus Muhammad Ali. No, I won't do that for a lot of reasons. Let's see. What is the most powerful anime manga universe? Also, where would Dragon Ball? I have no idea. I haven't read and watched enough. And like people keep talking about hack stuff. Dragon Ball is simply just up there. Probably top 5. Let's just be real. Even Yamcha, Planet Destroyer. They've been destroying planets since early on. I'm just saying. Since Saiyan Saga. Okay. What is the most powerful fiction universe that you know of? I don't. See, DC and Marvel, like it's crazy because DC and Marvel have these like near omnipotent, near omniscient, near omnipresent cats. Like they have the embodiments of death, entropy, and stuff like that. Life force. Like I don't know. I mean, then they have the ones above us. I have no idea. It's crazy. They're crazy. Let's see. Favorite non-shonen anime or manga. Holy Land is my third favorite manga. Anime. I don't know, cause I don't know. The anime part, I don't know. I don't know how many non-shonen anime I've actually watched, cause I don't. I mean, anime's a lot harder to determine where it actually falls into place. What makes you motivated to become an uploader? To do videos? Cause I mean, there's a lot of motivations. From I get sick of BS to I have thoughts in my mind, discussions, topics I talk about people in the daily. I love the interaction with people, getting my voice out there. I've met and connected with a lot of people, influence and sway, provide balance, once again, logic, reason, facts, and evidence. So, just who I am as a person. Also, the more I deal with on camera, the more I get my face out there, it's easier, communication. Helps with communication, which is a whole separate discussion in of itself. What career path would you take once you're done with college? First of all, college has been on hiatus, and it's a whole discussion with me personally. College I don't want to get into. It's been a struggle, to say the least. A lot of it is financial. Even though I did get some financial assistance early on, it's crazy. I don't know what path I may take. There's a lot of options, no less than 5. Probably 20. I can do a lot. It's not bragging, but I'm a true artist, and there's many paths in which I can take. But what I would love to do is be involved with music. If I had an absolute choice, I would love to be involved with music. But we'll see. Only time will tell how Christ's fate will decide. We'll see where things go. And actually, I'm in a very transitional period in my life. So the next several months, I'll be trying to make moves toward wherever that goes. Once again, not trying to get too personal, but yeah, let's just say I'm in a very transitional period in my life as a young man. But it's even more so because of certain circumstances which have occurred in my life over the past, especially the last several months, legally and otherwise. Yeah, emotions, and it's crazy, y'all. It's real out here. I live a real life, y'all. Believe it or not, I live a real life. Like, when you hear me speak, this is me. This is no fabricated stuff. Okay, that's why when people say, "Oh, you're an Uber knockoff," you're Uber Hikari, wannabe or phone. No, this is who I am. If you've ever dealt with me, ever talked with me, ever conversed, ever just vibed with me, This is who I am. And if you ever knew me in real life, this is who I am. You may see a different side of me because I have many different sides. But who I am is who I am. I'm true. That's who I am. What is your inspirational reviewer? I mean, my top 4 favorite reviewers are the Phone 999. Phone's my favorite. I love. He's hilarious to me. His facts and stuff. He does bring a lot of good points. Sometimes I disagree, but the phone has his own way of doing things. I mean, then you have King of Lightning KOL, which again I do disagree with him at times, but he does be analytical. He's very entertaining. Whatnot. Manga Me is my 3rd favorite. He's been me. I've had some discussion with Phone, but me I've had a lot of discussions with. Conversation, and me, respect him. He's a triple OG and he's in his YouTube anime and manga community game. And as far as the Sawyer 7 age, I mean, you can't help but respect this cat. I mean, pure and simple. The man brings great content. You gotta respect it. Inspiration, I don't know. There's a lot of other dudes that I'm subscribed to, no less than 20. A lot of which I actually personally know, more or less. But yeah, there's a lot of dudes that I do respect, or at least like them enough to be subscribed to. What is your hardest achievement in high school years? Now, as far as in academically, school mainly came easy, but I did have to bust my behind. I had to work my ass off. A lot of hard work, a lot of long nights, especially when I was younger. And I won't get into more of my personal issues on this video, but as far as an achievement itself, I gotta say in my senior year, I got the trophy right over there. I got Athlete of the Year. Now, I went to a small private school. You could say, well, yeah. No, but you don't understand the blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, literally, the emotions, the nights, man, the discussions I had with people very close to me about what was going on in my life at the time, and the fact that I got recognized after all the struggle that I went through, it symbolized the boatload. So yeah, the Athlete of the Year my senior year. Or hardest, yeah, that too. It went hand in hand on the work that I put in there. Even though I was the best athlete at the school, still the work that made me the best athlete. Okay. What helps you expose? What helped you expose into different? My curiosity. I'm very curious. I like to read, even stuff I'm normally not into. I just read a bunch of fiction. I love fiction. So, anime and manga wise, that's just an extension of who I am and what I do. What's your top 3 favorite character in One Piece Dragon? Whoa, it's a lot. I'm gonna do whole discussion video. I'm gonna do whole videos on my favorite characters. They're like a whole series kind of jump. I ain't dealing with that right now. Hell no. Why do you like Rock Lee, Gar, and Madara out of all the characters? And in the series, once again, I'll do that video when I do the Naruto characters. How did you get into Magi? Heard about it. And what makes this story complex from an ideological standpoint? Obviously, you've not read the story. If you read the story, that's just what it is. It's a bunch of ideological complexity, ideologies conflicting and contrasting, a bunch of politics. I mean, political, like people, people making moves. That's just what that's the basis of the story, in an overall standpoint. Now, introduction to the story is not so much like that, but yeah, ideologies are present from practically chapter 1. Let's see, what makes Hunter x Hunter fascinating to you? What do you find some of these comments, like some of these questions, I ain't big into, if you don't write all grammatically, I'm fine, but some of these are hard, syntactically, like the diction is, wow. But anyways, pretty much, why do I find Hunter x Hunter fascinating and some of the complex, interesting, like, I mean, besides Killua Zoldyck, besides, the conflicts, for example, in the Chimera Ant arc, which, you got the humans and the Chimera Ants, and what it means to be human. I mean, once again, psychological, philosophical elements. The whole concept of Nin, like that is fascinating. It's one of the most unique, most intricate power scaling structures I've ever seen in fiction history. Just the world in which they live. And, good and evil, it's hard to say which is which at this point. Like, yeah, you clearly see some evil, but you have Killua, who was an assassin, and now is a good guy. So, it's a lot of realistic elements to it, in this sometimes unrealistic world. Even our world's unrealistic and artificial at times, but once again, that's a separate point. What do you think One Piece is? I've done a whole video on that, but more or less the real poneglyph. Done a whole video on that. If you want more of my thoughts on that, you can go and check that out. Bonus: if Monkey D. Luffy died just like Roger, we consider the masterpiece. First of all, I don't believe Goldie Roger's dead. That's first and foremost. I already conceive it as a masterpiece. I don't conceive of how Oda, of how he's written it. He can almost not fail. That because there's so many subplots. Like, the subplots alone can carry the story till the end of the story. So there are no less than 8 subplots, and probably about 30 actually. Let's see. Which narrative is best? Character driven or plot driven? It's plot driven. I've talked about this with a dude, with a couple dudes, but especially one dude. Listen, he knows who he is. Listen, Eric, what's happening? If you see this video to this point, but plot driven. Look, character driven. Plot driven or character driven. Once again, it comes down to actually execution. But to actually answer your question, plot driven, because the plot moves things. Character driven, it's usually generally more focused on the characters. I mean, in plot driven, it has an overhanging thing, but it really depends on execution. I thought you said which is better, actually plot or character, but as far as if I'll answer the questions, which is better, good characters and bad plotting. Generally, you don't see good characters with bad plot, but it's definitely good plot with not so good characters, because it tends to the plot tends to make the characters good, but also you got enough of a story that you can carry mediocre characters that we still find satisfying. Like, you can continue to read and watch. Stop playing with me. Dang it. Come on, this video is long enough, over an hour. Sorry, y'all, it's just such a long video, but I gotta go with the questions. That's just how I be sometimes. What do you consider if a writer is pretentious or not in his work? Pretentious, what that means does not come to my mind at this point, but what I consider if the writer's not into his work, why are you in doing it? Just money grab. But look, we face writer's block. It's part of the reason why I haven't published any it's hard, man. Like, people don't know, writing's really tough. Writing a great story, it's not the most difficult thing. Like, you can do it, but just the inspiration, it's easy to lose the inspiration of what you once had, and life changes and things happen. So what do I consider? Try to get that fire back. That's anything. Try to get your passion, try to have passion for life, because trust me, I've been there and I've lived otherwise. No, I'm apathetic, depressed, suicidal, all these kind of things. Passion, live passionately. That would be it. I have 3. Okay. What are the top 3 most annoying things in your opinion? I have no idea, because there are some things that are ridiculously annoying. And trying to rank them, I have no idea. Never could have been able to. What's your favorite food? Lasagna. Let's see. What order do you rank Yu Yu Hakusho? This is definitely going down the list. Dragon Ball, definitely up there. One Piece, definitely up there. Naruto, definitely down on the list, even below Yu Yu Hakusho. YYH, definitely. And Avatar, in terms of what you like the most. Naruto's clear at the bottom, as I am not a fan, although I do, once again, many elements do enjoy. Let's see, Avatar is definitely up there. Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely. Yu Yu Hakusho is overrated, man. It's legendary, but it's overrated, and I can say this for different reasons. Okay? Still gotta finish the series. The fact that I haven't finished the series tells you. It already tells you. I'm on like episode 27. I've been on a hiatus from Yu Yu Hakusho for a good minute, to say the least. Avatar. See, I love me some Avatar. Addicted. From a pure enjoyment standpoint, I gotta say I have Avatar above both One Piece and Dragon Ball. But that enjoyment's not it alone. I'm not saying that I didn't, from a standpoint of critically, obviously I love it critically. But from One Piece overall, I gotta say One Piece over Dragon Ball. But that's like cutting hair. That's like splitting hairs. Let's see. Where we at? Okay. What's your favorite fictional story? Ooh, that's a great question. I will say that my favorite series, I guess you can include in fictional story, is actually the Foundation series. Individual story, I'm not sure, but the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. Check it out, especially if you're into sci-fi. It's phenomenal. I don't always agree with it, but yeah, man. Foundation series. What is the most well-made anime you have ever seen? Dragon Ball. For a lot of reasons. As it is my favorite. That's part of the reason. The way it's well made. I've seen quite a few, and yeah, Dragon Ball / DBZ. Let's see. Who do you think is the greatest mangaka? I have no idea. I'm not even gonna go there. I mean, you gotta respect. Ichiro Oda. You gotta respect Akira Toriyama. You gotta respect Yoshihiro Togashi, which I do not have him above both of those cats. You gotta respect Miura, the creative Berserk. You gotta respect the creative Holy. You gotta respect, first of all, the Godfather of anime and manga. I mean, the cat who started off with Astro Boy. You feel me? So I don't know. Mangaka, who knows? What anime are you currently watching? Not watching a lot of anime right now, to be honest with you. I mentioned Hunter x Hunter, but some things I gotta catch up on, and some things I started and I don't know what I'm watching, man. I can't answer that question. What's your favorite ongoing anime? I guess Hunter x Hunter. Do you have? No, I do not have an anime in my collection as of yet. Partly because of monetary, partly because once again I'm in a transitional period in my life. So why are you so critical when it comes to anime and manga? Because that's who I am as a person. I'm at times very analytical, but also because I respect it. When I respect something very much, I expect the best out of it. Okay? And why would you not want the best? Why would you want to accept crap? BS. I mean, why would you want to accept trash, period? Let's see. How good do you think Naruto Part 1 is? Overrated? It had its moments, from what I know of the story, but it's overrated. From the beginning, it had flaws, man, plot holes. So, say what you want, it's overrated. But I will say this, though. The Gar Rock Lee fight is one of the greatest fights I've ever seen, period. I mean, seriously. Probably top 10. It's just phenomenal. You had moments like that. Then you had moments like the Naruto versus Neji. Let me not go on that one. So yeah, it had its hit and miss moments, to say the least. Do you read Shaman King? No, I've had a lot of about it. I gotta remember to put that down in my must reads as well. So let me go ahead and do that after I finish this video, hopefully. Which manga do you think has the best art? I don't know. Cause it ain't Hunter x Hunter, I'll tell you that. But no, seriously. I don't know. Cause there's a lot that goes into what the best art is. It depends on what it fits the series. I can't say. Good question, but I can't say. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it interesting. Cowboy Bebop versus Claymore. First of all, Outlaw Star over Cowboy Bebop all day, every day. I couldn't get past episode one of Cowboy. I watched episode one of Cowboy Bebop, and I've heard about Claymore. Don't know if I'm getting to it or not. That's still up in the air, so I don't know. But definitely, yeah, Cowboy Bebop is pretty much enough for me. You can say, well, why didn't you continue? Look, man, especially when you've seen a series like Outlaw Star, which should have gotten the second season, by the way, which kind of pissed me off every time I think about it. No, it does piss me off every time I think about it because it was just phenomenal as a series, and I won't even go into the reason why. But when you see greatness like Outlaw Star, and then you get Cowboy Bebop, you come to it as overrated, bro. Seriously, you come in with high expectations. Oh, it's touching it. That's not what I see, bro. That's just my thoughts, man. You know, if you like the series, cool. I'm not saying it's trash, but we getting towards the end. When you think of summer weather, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Hot, because of where I live, hot and humid. Ugh. I mean, it's cool times, you know, the beach and stuff, but especially where I'm from, man, hot and humid. It's death weather. It's death weather. 50 Cent used the song, what is it, Patiently Waiting? It's summertime, it's a killing season. It's hot out here. That's a good enough reason. You feel me? Let's see. How do you feel about the police? Oh, don't even get me started. Policia Federales. As far as the police, the five, the cops, pigs, love-hate relationship for a lot of reasons, which would take too much time in this video. Love-hate relationship. But also, it goes with my anarchist views as to why I hold that as well. How do you want to be remembered after you die? Great question. Actually, I think I may have spoken about this. Pretty much, this is how I want to be remembered, as a good man, honestly. I want to go out people remembered as a good man. Also, if I go out with a legacy as an urban legend, which would be very cool, possibly a leader of the revolution, yeah, man. Pretty much those, you know, if remember as an artist would be phenomenal. But yeah, a good man first and foremost. A man who was loyal, that was righteous, that was honored, that, you know, I ain't gonna say I'm flawless, but that lived the good life, you know. That my children, if and when I have children, and same thing with grandchildren, they can look back with pride. That was him, you know. Considering other attributes I don't have, you know, my relation that leave others. They said so others have been turned off by me, but you know that I left a positive impact, and I've heard it from people, and it's not bragging. It's just, you know, it surprised me. It's humbling that others, you know, and it brings validity, because one of the questions I've dealt with when I was in teens and now, it's like, what's the purpose in life? What does my life have a purpose and whatnot, right? And so it was like to hear people kind of validate that the work that you do is not in vain. On some Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. status, Dr. King, you know, I want to go out that the things I have done are not in vain. The work I have done is not in vain. The living that I've done is not in vain. That's what I want to come out as, man. And I've been this way for the last few years, you know, ever since I understood, you know, trying to become a man, what it means to be a real man, and whatnot. To be a man and not a boy. Okay. Phenomenal question, by the way. And yeah, no surprise from this cat. He knows who he is. Or she is. I think it's a he. Let's see. Okay, do you rewatch your videos down the line like a month or so? I'll rewatch some of them. Some of my favorites. Some with different reasons. Some because of comments. Yeah, I've rewatched them, not generally intentionally. Sometimes I've forgotten the things I've said. You know, I like to keep up with my research, but yeah, from time to time. What are your thoughts on the death penalty in Tennessee getting the electric chair going again as a backup? The electric chair, but the death penalty, I do believe in. I've been an advocate. I may need to do. Manga Me actually did a video about death penalty. I don't believe in these long death rows. Say, no, man. If you're gonna do it, and with adequate evidence, none of this screw up crap, okay? With undeniable evidence, Sure, but first of all, I have my own issues with the legal system in of itself. Okay, it's not a justice system; it's a legal system. I'm about justice. And cold-blooded, premeditated, like no qualms, no nothing. In case of certain rape, child molestation, certain things like that, put them to death, hang them, whatever. Put them, get them out of here. Now, some people change and all this. No. I mean, clearly, cold-blooded, premeditated, not even a shadow of a doubt to what the person did. Get them out of here. Sends a signal, sends a message. And plus, why do we need that? Now, others may share a different view to me, but that's the view I hold. I'm about justice. Yes, sometimes you need mercy, but in certain, look, if there is no question, no shred of a doubt, nothing, no tampering of nothing, get that person out of there. No 20-year sentences. No, none of this. It's BS. Straight up, it's not right. Okay. Thoughts on Papa John's pizza? Yeah, it's pretty good. Not my favorite pizza. Pretty random, but yeah, I like that. When you find out someone abuses alcohol, what does it say about that? To you about that? Now, my thoughts on addiction are, this is a whole separate discussion, man. But my thoughts on addiction is like, it depends on how one became addicted. Okay, I'm not excusing addiction. I don't believe, I believe in fixing and as well as preventing addiction. We all somewhat more or less are addicted to something. Transferring that addiction to something more positive. You can't hold your liquor. I can't stand that. Depends on the person's actions. Okay. Also, the thoughts that the person has, how he once again, how he treats other people. Just could a lot of this junk been avoided? What are the circumstances that happen to the person? Like, so it's a holistic thing. But overall, don't look too negatively. Depends on the situation, more or less. And that's kind of how I am about life. It really does depend on the situation. Now, let's see. We're getting there. And the electric chair is, once again, whatever. I'm almost done, ladies and gents. It's been long enough, but whatever. Did you go to prom in high school? I didn't technically have a prom. I went to a small private school, but I went to a spring formals / it transferred from sports banquet to a spring formal. Yes, I had a blast, had a ball. Yeah, there's so much to say about that. One of my actually fondest high school memories. Sorry, y'all. That's how it be for me. I get calls and crap. But dang it. I don't have to do that. Sorry, y'all. That's just how it be. Life. Do you prefer acoustic or electric? Instruments, slightly electric, slightly. I love me some acoustic too, but I say electric guitar. I mean, it's tough, man. Electric, slightly. Depends on what it is, though. Depends on what it is. Let's see. Do you partake Monster Energy drink? Yes, I haven't in a while, but yes, I like Monster. Because energy drinks, I haven't needed to, for a lot of reasons. But yes, have no problems with it. But don't, once again, use and abuse. I say that for all things, it's like my policies: don't get high just to get high. Don't drink just to get drunk. I don't believe in being stoned. For a lot of, once again, whole nother side. And young kids shouldn't be drinking that. Period. Period. Do you play video games? Yes. Come on, I grew up in the golden age of video games. Like, it's a major part of my life. Let's see. Are you easily offended by movies like Cannibal Holocaust? What the hell is Cannibal Holocaust? Cannibal? Like Cannibal? You're talking about the Holocaust? What? I don't get offended. Like, the only thing I'm offended at is blatant disrespect, ignorance to the point of ridiculousness and stupidity. Like, I don't know. Again, you don't know what I watch and read. offended. I don't know what that means. Yo, this question. This is the kind of question that makes the video worthwhile right here. What is more offensive or weird to you, hentai or pornography? Neither. Now, I'm not advocating or denying anything. Have I seen both? Of course, for a lot of reasons. Mainly research reasons and just different ways. And see, the way I grew up is interesting. Not saying I'm all special or one, but the way I grew up is very interesting. Weird. There's been some weird hentai stuff in which I watch. Do I partake normally? No, for a lot of reasons. But actually, there's some weird porn, dog. I don't find either offensive. Pretty much because I'm also mature at this point. But I don't know. But yeah, hentai in general can be far weird because they can go into other elements like supernatural and whatnot. Let's see. And also then there's ecchi, which is, you know, subdued and yeah. Yo, speaking of ecchi, Sekare. Yo, that story is fire. I'm talking about the manga. I don't know about the anime, but Sekare, like, if you know, more or less ignore the nudity, I mean, whatever, if you look past the nudity, it's a phenomenal story. It truly is, by the way. I'm talking about ecchi. Who do you main as in Super Smash Bros. If you play? Oh, no, this question. Alright, my three favorite characters. First of all, my third favorite character in video games history is Kirby. Of course, I'm loving some Kirby. Yo, Young Link. Young Link is probably my favorite. And then I'm talking about Melee. I can't speak for Brawl. And Luigi. I've played with pretty much every one of them. But yeah, those are my three main ones. Young Link, though. I don't know why Young Link is far better than Link. I mean, there's other characters that are solid, but yo, that Young Link, though. And that Kirby, though. They ain't nothing to play with. Now, almost done, y'all. I know it's now 30 minutes, whatever. This is about the longest video I've ever done, but hell, it's a Q&A. I had like 30 plus questions. Some of these were some very deep questions. Thank y'all. How often do you visit your local library? Not as much as I probably should, but that's because I'm far more busy. I actually worked one summer job. I think it was going into my 9th grade year. Or going to my 10th grade, probably going to my 9th grade year. I actually worked at the library, and I had I built kind of some bonds with the staff there. Yeah, I don't go as much also because for a lot of reasons I don't go as much as I should, but yeah, but I love it, especially when I was on campus to the last university I was at. I was in the library heavily. Not to the point where it stunted my social life, but it was one of the best places to be, honestly. And I acknowledge and difference. And the last one, oh my gosh, what is this? What a way to end this joke. Do you or have you ever stabbed a pizza box? Dude, what? It's a custom for me, what is that? What is that? Bro, we better, because when I'm talking about stabbing, we talking about pulling out the blades, though. What is that? You gotta be trolling. You have got to be trolling me, man. But what a way to end. So overall, this is my first Q&A video. I know it was a lengthy video, but I had a bunch of questions. I love the guys. Some very thought-provoking questions. Some of them were repetitive, but it's fine. You know, it makes sense. Y'all ask me what y'all want to know. When will I do it next? A few months, 7 months. I don't know. But yeah, man, this is just inspiration, more thoughts into who I am as a person, the way I view things, which is cool. You know, I love to get y'all thoughts on it. And the unexpected one, like, comment, subscribe. Once again, tell me your thoughts. This isn't as long as, especially a lot of live streams and hangouts I've been a part of. But yeah. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. Till next time, y'all. Pizza box stabbings? Who knew?